I'm not going to worry about the chat too much today because of Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It looks like we're live.
We are live again. We have introduced our intro. Introduce the introduce. We have our new intro for anybody who is watching tonight. I imagine a lot of our viewers are off watching pigskins be thrown around a field, but we have our new one up. Pardon for the video setup that we've got right now with the names. We're missing a couple of the players, and the Discord that we use for our video is a little bit off kilter with the way it's done. We've got Mike tonight and Brett on actual video, so we're thrilled to have them with us on up to the minute type of stuff. Lynn's having technical difficulties and trying to get in, and Alex or Jason is still having all the responsibilities of a brand new dad and the struggles with that. So it's been kind of rough for him. He hasn't had sleep and so forth, as anybody who's had kids know what it's like. So it isn't easy for him to get any gaming time. So we're hoping he'll get with us here in a few weeks. But for now,
okay.
we're still ready.
Jason can be our Ashley.
Right. So as soon as we get Lynn on board, the videos ought to show the proper size there. Kyle is larger than life at the moment, which he usually is anyway. So we all know that Apo's larger than life. When we last saw our heroes, they were attempting to figure out what they were going to do with the revolution disaster, I guess you would call it, that occurred in place of the Burning Sun Festival. Basically, you've left bodies all over the square. The Baron and Isaac Strasny are being hustled off to the Baron's manor. You were discussing at the end last week what you were going to do and how you were going to set up. Basically, with the Baron down, there's very little government in Vallaki right now. It's kind of in turmoil. People are hiding in their houses to a large extent, and things are pretty tense. So what's your plan? Share it with everybody what you think you're going to be doing.
All right, so basically, pardon me, we are going to be taking control of, we're trying to take control of Vallaki as a type of base here, right?
Yeah, mainly use it as our sort of central hub in the region.
You guys sure you don't want a warband of villagers?
We are a warband.
I mean, we could have Warlord Derok.
I'm not against it. It's more a matter of what's feasible in the time frame we have.
Also, what our GM would allow.
Oh, I'm sure
Well,
she'd be happy to.
You can
figure out
drift
some way for
around
that
and
to
try
be
to
the same.
become warlords of the city. That's fine. Just rewrite the story that way.
Right there, Garrosh.
I mean, we've already pretty much rewritten the story, according to you.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Apo, you made me what I am.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, the Apo we know and love. We need that on a POTUS. So
In
what?
any case.
So where do you plan on going first? Now, just a little bit of a hint. You'll notice on the screen that there are tokens of a couple different sizes. The larger tokens, like your party token, and that very large guard token, indicates a party or unit of people. It's a larger group. And as if you head for the Baron's Manor, you will find a large contingent of guards standing guard out near the road.
I think what we had discussed last week was going directly to the Baron's Manor.
Yeah, I believe
Yes,
so.
I believe.
Have we rested? I don't think we have.
No.
I think we're intending to rest after we try
somewhere along in here. Yeah,
you know, make
it's
the
getting
government.
it's dark now again because the festival started just as dusk was starting. That was the point of the whole exercise, and an hour or so of battle in the square, and it is now dark.
All right. Well, let's go to the Baron's Manor.
Let's just get right to it.
Yeah.
The guards
Iraq
recognize
follows along
you.
with his two heads.
Uh, the guards will recognize you as you walk up. They will part and let you through, and then close
You know
ranks.
what they say, Duroc.
They'll close ranks right behind you to keep anybody else out of the area.
What do they say?
Two heads are better than one.
I look at the two heads I have.
Put that
All
away.
right, two heads are better than one. I continue to hold to my heads, not listening to Vlad at all.
You
Vlad
also
doesn't
notice
say anything.
Oh,
You-
I don't. Who? I thought someone told me to put him away.
Victor.
You
Oh,
all-
okay. I don't listen to Victor.
you also
That's an
notice
easy turn.
that if you
Later.
walk up with the heads out, the guards would part a little further for you than they do for the others.
Yeah. See, Iraq knows well how it works here.
Vlad has a ball of light over his head. It's like a mini sun.
One of your thaumaturgic things.
Light. The
Okay.
cantrip light.
That's
I
usually
could just use
cast
the color.
on something. What have you got it cast on?
Is it? I think you can just cast it.
Has to be cast on an object.
Then I have it cast on the back of my head, so I look like Jesus to anyone who's looking at me.
You have it cast on your man bun.
Vlad doesn't have enough hair for a man bun. Yeah, cast on an object. You're right.
It can be an end game goal for you.
You walk up to the door of the manor, and there is one guard standing guard at the door who reaches over and opens the door for you, and you step inside. At least I think you do. There we go. You step inside the manor. Lady Petrovna is actually not there at this time. She is off in the church.
At the church.
But you walk into that reception room that you went into the first night that you went there when all the wood was being gathered, and Isaac and the Baron are slumped in various chairs and sofas being tended to with first aid. They are quite beat up.
Because the villagers threw pebbles at them. Oh, what a
Yes.
bunch of pansies.
They need some band-aids. And I have some band-aids to give. Vlad will go over to each of them and take out his field kit. And where did I put it? There we go. Once on each of them. Let's do the 10 for Isaac and the 6 for the Baron.
Very good, which restores their health pretty well. They're back in pretty good shape.
And this
And-
also, if they, I don't know if they have a level since they're NPCs, but it adds their hit dice to the healing.
Okay. Basically, they are pretty well back up to. Isaac probably has a ways to go. This isn't correct what's showing up there, but Isaac would have a bit to go on his, but the Baron would be pretty well up. And he, as he's healed, he says, "What happened out there? What was all that?"
Is that Isaac or the?
That was the Baron.
Yeah.
And so Vlad, as he's bandaging him up, I imagine at this point he's like kneeling next to the Baron as he's wrapping a bandage around his forehead, says, That is what happens when you have poor government skills.
He glares at you very angrily.
I can stop bandaging you anytime I want to.
Darak kind of just starts walking right behind Vlad, still holding the head, and also I forgot one of the heads is also half a torso.
Jesus!
I forgot I cleaved the guy in half. So now I'm
Like-
just standing there ominously.
Like sub sandwich or like hamburger?
Like it went down. So like from
Oh,
shoulder,
diagonal.
yeah, diagonal. So like like I said, half a
So
torso.
you got like an arm hanging off it too.
Sure, we'll have that too.
Ah.
We'll add an arm as well.
Is it still dripping? Like, does it have that like, wet slosh?
Sure.
Ah.
Get that off of my rugs!
You are lucky that this did not happen sooner. Perhaps that is why this was the finest festival of the year.
Vlad motions to the half corpse that Darak has, says, "You are lucky that these did not happen to you."
What was that tiger? Where did that tiger come from?
That does not matter right now.
It is-
It matters everything. It destroyed our festival.
No,
You destroyed your own festival.
the tiger was from Octavio's circus. The Watcher boys went and released it.
As we tried to inform you to defuse the situation before you decided to ignite it like your precious son.
Hi, Lynn.
Hello, Lynn. Welcome.
We
I hate everything. Keyboard's not working. Finally get that working. I try to get on. The password won't let me on to log into my computer.
Well, we're glad you're with us now. They have done their planning here, and they're moving towards. They're talking with the Baron in his manor, trying to make him realize that his actions in government weren't helping the town.
He has his manner and we have none.
Pretty
You would think
much.
he shows some manners in his manner.
You know, he doesn't always have to have a manner. There's a lovely thing called fire that works really, really well.
Let's not burn down his manor at the moment.
We're already burning down.
Ah!
Well, we don't
Why
know.
would we burn down our manor?
Our manor. Wait, when are we going to take the
I'm
No.
gonna take the other chick's place.
Well, here's the thing. We know this
Uh-huh.
one is in one piece.
That's true.
That's
Well, this one is in
true.
one piece. We don't know what happened with the other one because half the villagers decided to go burn that one down.
I wonder whose idea that was.
Hey,
Well,
actually
technically-
no. You know what? That was not me. I wanted Heinrich dead. It was Sylvia who
I said
decided to
lynch.
go.
No, I wanted
Yes,
a lynch mob.
I
wanted
remember.
a lynch mob. I
You,
wanted a lynch mob,
you-
not a, you know.
I remember it was
It's not my fault.
Sylvia.
It's not my fault the mob decided to go with the burning route. You know, I can't control mobs. Not yet, anyways.
Actually, we don't even know if it was burned down. Maybe they just throw stuff at it.
That was where we were supposed to go next.
Yeah.
Well, we can skip it since it's not going to be there anymore.
Well,
we
we can
don't
at least
know.
swing by and check. I mean, shit. Might find a clue or something, you know.
Anyway,
Continue.
so is anyone else wanting to lead this, or as will the doctor lead it?
What
Oh,
doctor?
lead.
I'll let the people with social
Vlad.
skills take care of that.
Oh,
I
I
okay.
don't really have socials. I
The
have a
doctor is
+1.
in.
I've heard I had great social skills, but who's
So,
counting?
so far, my social skills are holding two heads to a terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wait,
I
I'm
noticed.
actually
Thank
really
you.
curious. Vlad, what's your persuasion?
I'm not
It's a
even-
good question. I have a +3 to persuasion.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm still pulling my sheet.
Negative?
So
I
what?
only have +1.
I'm kidding. You're a paladin. You should have decent
Yeah,
persuasion.
I got a +5.
And why am I doing the talking?
The Baron
Because
says,
the character is not that good.
the Baron
This is also
says,
true.
well, I will allow you to restore order, but after that we will have a discussion.
I think we will have a discussion now. He says, looking directly at the Baron, giving an extra sharp tug on the bandage he's currently wrapping around his forehead.
Oops.
I do not know what you mean. My family has controlled Vallaki for generations. We go back
And-
hundreds of years.
And you just ruined that. Congratulations. You are the one who has ended your own line.
It was not my
dropped
fault
my
that the tiger ruined it. The festival would have
It
gone
is
off
not
as
your
planned.
fault that the tiger was released. It is your fault that the people revolted. Your festivals have done nothing to stop the devil. In addition to that, the required attendance has done absolutely nothing to enamor you to the people. Even if the Washerwoman did not stage a coup, they would have revolted eventually. Besides that, your son is in no position to inherit the title of Baron.
What do you know about my son?
What is it, dear Lord?
Way too much.
Your people were easily manipulated if Darrock can convince them to riot.
That's
What?
true.
They do
Okay.
not like you.
Here, Protus holds his hand up and just says, "You have lost the respect of your people through these ritualistic festivals
Shenanigan.
that have done nothing to restore order, to maintain unity, or to keep out the devil."
Well, I will suspend them for now. That is not the thing. We must find that Rictavio. He has destroyed everything.
No. Okay, look.
We will not,
No.
little man.
No. Get your head out of your own ass. God damn it.
Victor in the back just shakes his head.
What a bad time for him. Go away. Really use him.
Go see what those sons are up to. I want you to go find those sons. If they release that tiger,
Guards are taking care of it.
well, I
Come
am
back.
finished for the night. I am going to turn in. This
No.
conversation is over.
You leave, and we will find someone else to lead this town.
I think you underestimate the position that you are in, good Baron. He puts an emphasis on Baron, making it sound like it is a temporary thing.
This is my family's home. I am staying here.
And if you would listen to us, you will stay here. However, you would know that this is the Baron's town. If you do not listen, at least listen to what we have to say, you will no longer be the Baron. It is in your best interest to sit down, and he tries to push him back into the chair, to sit down and have a chat. Do you need me to make a roll or just...
he sits down. He's not in any shape to try to resist what you're doing. Strozny kind of tries to rise up at you're pushing him, but
points
even
at
Strozny,
and says, go ahead.
but even he's not in real good shape, and you can tell he doesn't even have that axe of his with him right now.
He points at Strozny and says, we will help you with what we discussed earlier. Just wait until this is over.
Very well, Baron, I think you should go up to your rooms now and leave the cleanup to these people.
I thought we said it.
We can take these to your quarters. It is agreeable. But we will talk tonight.
Talk about what? I am saying you may do it. What do you wish to talk about further?
We are the Dawnwatch. We have discussed this. As as of tonight, we have seen that Vallaki is in no position to resist the devil under your leadership. So, what we are going to do is you will remain in the position of Baron. However, with stipulations. You will stop these festivals and the required attendance. They are doing nothing there, nothing but a waste of resources and people's time. That is the first one. The second one is that you will effectively be no more than a figurehead. We, he says, gesturing to the rest of the group, we will be the main power in Vallaki. And he says, continuing, seeing that the Baron is probably going to raise an objection at that, the reason we are leaving you here is because we will not be around to see our will done 100% of the time. So, you will be allowed to remain in position of the Baron, as long as you do what we tell you to do.
Durok has addition.
He looks at you.
There are 2 wolf hunters that have been keeping your town safe. They are to be released from wherever they are from to continue.
I don't think that we have arrested the wolf hunters. We made sure that they would
Durok saw
attend,
them.
but we have not arrested them.
I thought the last time they were that they were being led by guards.
They were forced into the square by guards, but after they were there, they were left alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they basically were being herded into the square because they were trying to get out of town
Just
to do their hunting.
Okay, I thought they were being imprisoned.
It's all good.
We'll go with Durok thinks that they were being imprisoned. He's still gonna say
And
that
he has
they
given you
they
the
will be left
information
alone.
that they're not holding them.
Okay.
Now then, does this sound agreeable to you?
Oh, also, Sealy, because I thought that we also agreed that Alex was probably going to stay since
Yeah,
when he came back.
I was actually about to bring that up.
Good point.
Yeah.
And Epotus holds up 3 fingers and says, "The third stipulation: we will be provided a barracks and place to operate from when we are in town. Perhaps the treacherous lady's home will do once we've rounded up her family and they have been taken care of. One of our number will be left in town to supervise the guards, the outpost, and you."
I'm in no position to argue with you. I just wish to sleep. Where is Lydia?
She was taken someplace safe. The church, where it actually is safe.
She is
Such
with
the
her
whole
brother.
noble.
That's good. I will accept that if she's with her brother. And he says, I want to go upstairs. I want to rest. This has been too much for me tonight.
So I say we can give him a break.
Go.
I
Run.
believe that is enough for tonight.
Besides, we got more work to do. You know, checking up on that potentially burnt down house, all that fun stuff.
Yes. And Vlad stands and takes a mocking bow, semi-mocking bow. He is still technically the Baron, so he has to show a little bit of professionalism. Says,
Epotus pushes to his feet. It does not bow.
says, have a good sleep. And then grabs his cloak, does the swirl as he turns around to leave.
A couple of servants
says-
come to his elbows to aid him out of the room.
After he does the swirl, he looks over his shoulder and says, "Oh, Strasny, follow us." And then just leaves.
Durok gives a salute with fist over his chest, the head kind of bouncing off his body as well.
Strasny stands
Are you
up.
just going to have this head?
Well, the
Apparently,
plan was
maybe
actually
he's
give
going
it
to
the
hang
Baron,
it from
but
his belt, you know.
Can we name
Well-
it Wilson?
Durok does have a. I do actually have a
Oh,
plan for
God.
them though. As soon as we meet guards. No, stop looking at me like that. Not that kind of plan.
What the hell?
Victor is right
Strosny,
there.
Strosny
I am
gets
not
to his
Victor.
feet, but he's not altogether steady on his feet, and he kind of stumbles out the door after you.
Seeing that he's about to fall over, Vlad will offer to help him along. A wounded warrior style, over the arm, under the arm, etc.
You could just give him a quick heal, you know. Cleric.
He
I
already
didn't know
did,
what to
actually.
expect.
Hmm?
That was non-magical healing. I healed him a little bit. It was non-magical.
Yeah, he was. I think you said Strasny was the 10 and the Baron 6.
Yeah,
I
Strosny was
gave 10
down
points to.
so far that he was in pretty bad shape, but yeah,
I gave 10 points to Isaac and 6 points to the Baron. We never told him how we knew his son. Oh well, it doesn't matter right now. It's all way over.
Speaking of which, I got a date.
Oh yeah, you need to turn the puppet into a thingy. Go do that quickly. We'll meet at the person's house.
Do you need somebody
Actually-
to accompany you?
No, I think I got this. You know, crazy
Alex,
people
go
talk the
with
same
her.
language. No,
Make sure nothing
listen,
happens.
no.
Yes, please.
I'll just kick.
Are you
I'll
sure
just
they're
kick
not
it down.
changelings?
I'll just kick him down the stairs. No. Look, I got this, guys. I got
It's like he never left.
As the
I got
Baron is helped up the stairs with the servants, you can follow behind him and on up the narrow stairs into the attic. The illusion is back in place, but now you recognize what it is and are able to very quickly move across to where the door actually is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk through and just kind of like slam fist against, like, open up. I know you're home.
He comes over and looks very wide-eyed at you as he opens the door. Oh, you're back. Oh, do you have any more information about my maps?
What was that again?
I've got to find the
He's
maps
trying to teleport out.
so that I know where my teleports will go.
Oh. We actually haven't had a chance to leave your town yet because your dad's kind of crazy and has been forcing people to stay because of these festivals. Anyways, I have a small thing, tiny favor to ask of you. If you can pull this off, that'd be great. If not, well then, we'll make do. I kind of want to turn something into a little, kind of like a magical artifact focusy thingy. You kind of can get the idea from there, but yeah. So you turn this thing into something useful for me, and I'll help you get the maps later on once I'm able to actually leave this godforsaken town.
Oh, so you want me to oh, that would, I think if I take the ley lines and I weave them into the fabric of the suit that he's wearing and maybe into the cloak, that might possibly give enough magic potential that you would be able to do it. But maybe that wouldn't work. Let's see. We might need to have, let's see. What if I was to weave it into the, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure how this would.
Hey, buddy.
Could you
I got an idea, actually.
could you leave
I
it
can
with
leave
me
it-
for a while?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna be coming back anyways. So here's the thing, right? I got a small favor to ask of you for this. Oh, as well. You know, if it can be done, you know. Can you make it walk on its own?
Not without a spell to manipulate it. It's going to take like mage hand or some illusion. I don't think that I can permanently make it walk on its own.
Why would you do that?
I mean, see, yeah, grow.
If it walks on its own, it's going to be destroyed.
Yeah, the moment that it seems to be moving
No,
of its own,
sentient.
own volition,
No.
there'll
You know
just
what?
be a dragonborn foot. Just
Nope. Varrock would be amused by this, and he will protect it.
I'm
This-
going
this
I'm
is
going to
play,
give a
Varrock.
shout out to Dice
Hey,
Camera
none of
Action
you were
on
there to
this one.
stop me, so shush.
Strahd, nothing. Undead, nothing. Riots, nothing.
And
We'll
we
destroy
will
the
name
party
it
if you
Simon
fucking
in
puppet.
honor of Dice
Is
Climber
Chucky
Action.
alive?
Hey. You aren't there. I got this. So, she's gonna give the
She
guy,
said the words.
just like the basic rundown of what she wants to be able to do. She's like, I got mage hand, but kind of can't, kind of don't want to have to keep using it all the time. I mean, you know how you kind of made your cats walk around and stuff like that? If you could do something like that, that would be amazing.
But
Trust me,
they
I got
have
this great plan in
like
mind.
souls that I can put in them to emulate them. There is nothing here. Whose soul do you want me to put in this?
That is a damn good question. I am.
Put the Watcher Woman's in it.
We have to find a soul first.
You know what?
I
If I
have
find
to-
something that'll work, can we modify it after we do this initial thing though?
Though the first person to die gets put in the puppet.
Oh, good lord.
No, trust me. When I linked you.
If Alex never comes back, he's going to be put into the.
That's what I was about to say.
Hold
We're
on,
gonna have
Hold
Alex
on,
in a
no,
party.
here's the thing. First character to die gets put in there, but here's the big question: DM, would they retain their class traits?
Yeah.
Not really. No, I'd have to figure out some powers that would come out of the ether on that one.
I have a thing for you that I can give you advice
Guys,
for.
just to help clarify this in the Discord chat, I am linking you the idea
Oh
of where
god.
I'm going.
Oh god.
It wasn't earlier, and I was like, that would be amazing. Let me see if I can do this.
I don't know what this is.
Lulu from Final Fantasy. Is
Yeah.
it Lulu, right?
Yeah, it's Lulu from
Yeah,
Final
Lulu.
Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Her dolls actually
played it.
stand up on its own and act like she's casting. It's so great. I thought it was perfect.
Never played it.
Such a good
Oh,
game.
it's a pretty good game. Then Final Fantasy went downhill.
It got better.
Victor is now mumbling to himself about over the doll. He almost seems to have forgotten that you were there. He's almost in an argument with himself over exactly what materials he needs and exactly what magical forces he's going to need to weave into the
Oh,
doll
that's
in order
Victor.
to make it.
Yeah, I was
focus.
confused for a moment. Forgot
Look.
there's another Victor.
Buddy, I'm gonna leave this puppet with you. Treat him with good care. He is a gift from a dear person of mine.
Victor, not Victor.
Yes, exactly.
Whatever. Tomato. Anyways, you're still not there. Yeah, take good care of him. Great friend gave it to me. It's going to be amazing. I will tell you stories for days about what happens with this thing afterwards.
Yes.
And
Well, I'm
just
going to
think-
start the weave now. I think that if I use blue strands woven with the yellow ones, that probably they will interpolate themselves into the magesta of the final product.
You know what? You do you. I'm gonna go do me. Like I said, this is going to be amazing. And just think, you'll get so many good apprentices when I tell them you did it.
Oh, real apprentices?
Yeah! Seriously, when people can see the kind of magic that you can do with this thing, they are going to be lining up, guaranteed.
Wonderful. Oh, let me work. And he just goes muttering off
Have
into a
fun.
corner of his workroom.
And I skip back downstairs and go find the rest.
We'd probably still be at the church at this point.
Are you going?
Wait,
No, I thought you
I
were
thought
going
we were going to the lady's house.
Oh, we're taking Isaac to the church first to meet.
Oh, right.
Oh, did we actually want him to meet Irina?
Wait, what?
I mean, I said that, no one else argued it, so he's been.
No, we
I
didn't.
don't
You
think
can
we
stop in
heard
the
you.
middle of the street at this point and say, "Oh, never mind, go back to the man's house."
I mean, yeah, we can. It's a power play, dude. I made
Yeah,
I made you walk wounded, bleeding half a block just because I freaking could. Now go home.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Leave-
just to make
Our
him
heroes,
hate us even
everyone.
more.
You could leave it to
I just-
leave it to Epotus if you want.
Why don't we just show him Irina?
Well, here, like, my only concern about that is, like, if there's more to this guy than meets the eye, even though he's like, yeah, I met so-and-so, because shit, and I don't remember where my brain was going with this, but I don't have a good feeling with him meeting Irina yet.
See, that's the thing. I don't either. but Vlad would want it to happen.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like we can set some ground rules while we're there because
Ooh,
now we're
actually,
meeting.
you know what?
Now they're
How
meeting on
much-
our terms.
How much HP does he have?
At least 10.
Fuck, you know what? Let's do it anyways, because if this bitch tries anything sketchy, we can just kill him.
I'll beat him to death with my head.
You'll give him head?
Wow.
And there's some of that adult content we were talking about. Parents?
Oh, you're gonna hit him with a head.
Yeah.
Hold on. Keep going. I'm finding the picture now.
Look at. Not gonna lie, Mike, you kind of look like that dude with the trident from the second Hunger Games movie.
What was his name? Finn or something like that?
I don't know, something stereotypical like that. Oh,
There's
God.
their right now.
Oh god.
Where did my...
Killing me, dude.
You know what I just looked up?
Hmm?
Trident guy from Hunger Games. And it's him. Finnick O'Dare is his name.
Oh, hi there.
Oh, hi there. Can I get you some cookies?
Would you like to buy some meat over the phone?
I can't put it straight into Discord.
So you are heading for St. Andros, right?
Yes.
Yep, and then we're gonna tell him to go away.
Wait, which way did you tell Sylvia you were going? Because she's probably gonna head to go see if that
We
house is burning
didn't.
down. No, it's okay. I'm still going to the house then.
We just show up and she's like, I've been waiting for 3 hours. Where the hell have you been?
We said we're going to meet at the house.
Yeah.
Well, we're presuming, I guess, that like her time
Well,
talking
yeah.
to the guy takes longer, takes the time. Like we're doing that. Well, like we didn't
Yeah.
stick
That's-
around.
We're doing this while she's doing that.
Yeah.
So
No,
she's
I
talking-
was just
There you go.
I'm just trying to figure out like walking distance relation. It's like, okay, so if she goes that direction, they go back that direction. It's now double the length that they'd have to go walk to
Hey,
get to that.
We'll
thing.
just
So-
use Game of Thrones time.
So you mean we won't see the group until
Season
episode 25?
7. Season 7.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The dragons are coming.
Alright, so I think at this point that we would pretty much be at the front doors of the church, yes?
Pretty much. I'm
That's
getting
it,
your
actually.
pictures set up here. But yeah, you would arrive at the church and you would, I assume, walk
What the?
in.
There's a vampire there.
It's time to smite!
Think it was
I mean, there's always a vampire with us.
Well, yeah, I guess. But there's another one.
Alright, so
When-
Vlad would push open. Sorry.
When you open the door, you would see Father Petrovich up
Sorry.
near the altar taking care of various things. He's not performing any rituals or anything, but he is up near the front of the church. And Ismark and Irina are busying themselves about the church, rather startled to see you walk in. And also up with Father Petrovich is his sister, Lydia Petrovna, who's the Baron's wife.
So when they walk in, Vlad will gently push Isaac down into a pew for him to sit down. The man is wounded. He doesn't need to be standing any longer than regular. He will then go over to Irina and say, "There is someone here that I think you should meet." And gesture to Isaac.
Who is he?
Iraq stands next to Isaac.
Isn't
holding
he
heads
the
in the
man
church.
that they said was the vicious man?
Yes. Isaac Strasny.
Why do you want me to
Apparently.
meet him?
Isaac Strasny. Allegedly your long-lost brother.
The color drains out of her face. She's looking very, very startled. What do you mean?
Vlad gently takes her hand and puts one hand on her back and starts to guide her towards Isaac. Says, I will be right here the whole time.
No, no, no. If the stories are true, I don't want to meet him.
I promise you, on my honor, nothing bad will happen.
Epotus
big
is
horse.
standing about 2 feet to the right of Isak in such a way that he can just pull the blade out. And just
That's what Darok's doing as well. He's standing there, ready to throw a fist in his face.
All of our group are here to make sure that nothing bad happens.
She,
Sidebar. What about when we're not here?
I didn't say anything when we're not here.
Ismark looks at her and he goes, "What is this? What do you know of this? What, Irina? What are you talking about?" And she says, "Father Donovich, he has said that he found me very injured, and that he took me to Father, and he took care of me, that I was horribly injured, and that a brother had hurt me."
What is this?
I don't want you. If that man, I will kill him myself if that is what he has done.
Oh, okay.
Vlad's face darkens, and then he drops on his hand and says, I will be right back. And starts storming over to Isaac.
Isaac looks
Sits
at
down at the pew directly in front of him, but he's turned around so that he's like kneeling over the pew looking down. Says, I have just spoken with her. She has told me a most interesting tale. Father Petrovich?
Donovich from Barovia Village, the one back in Barovia Village.
It is Petrovich, okay.
So many Oviches.
Yes. Father Petrovich.
No,
Found
Father
her.
Domovich. Son of Donovan, not son of
Donovich
Peter.
found her. Okay, you said Petrovich earlier. I'm sorry for the confusion. Father Donovich found her when she was young. Carried her to her current family. He told her that she was gravely wounded because of her brother.
He holds up his deformed arm that has like almost a claw at the end of it, and he shakes it in your face. It is because of her I have this.
Explain. I warn you, my patience is thin this night.
Epotus gives Vlad a look like, this is why we don't just do things.
Darok holds up one of the heads. Careful with what you say.
No, I want to know exactly what you need to... Exactly what has happened.
I meant be polite about it. Don't be asshole about it.
We were out in the woods. My father, my sister. She was little. I have not seen her since then. We were attacked by demons, and I was left for dead. My father died. They carried off my sister, and I did not see her again. And now I find that she is alive. And when they restored me, when they healed me, I had this demon's arm. It is her fault.
How is it her fault?
The demons used her to create this magic. I know they did.
And what purpose would harming her serve? Clearly, she would not have had any interest in harming you like that at such a young age.
I have heard it said from some people that gave me information that if she dies, my arm will grow back normal.
Who?
He glowers. And he says, "You wouldn't know them."
Right.
Try me.
Old women who know a lot.
Oh, those hags at Holmgrinder.
He just kind of goes poker-faced and doesn't make any expression at all.
I would like to make an insight check.
Yep, I've been having my character sheet up for a while, waiting to do that.
Same with Derek. I have.
Yeah, which is 24.
Yeah, you can tell from his facial expressions when you said the hags at Bone Grinder that he definitely was trying to act like he'd never heard of them. A little too
How
hard.
old does he look?
He looks to be probably 6 or 7 years older than Irina, and she's
So that's
in
like 30, early
yeah,
30s.
yes, she's in her
Okay.
early 20s.
Would either Vlad or I or anybody have heard of some sort of thing where it's like, the kid just gets used like that way?
I would think that with all the research Vlad did about what could have possibly attacked his parents, he would have heard at least a little something about this if it was existent.
Give me a religion check, I believe, would apply to this.
I'm not great at that. I'm not great at it.
For what kind of magic?
We both rolled the same. Yay!
I don't know what I'm rolling for. Yep. Okay. Doesn't matter. I don't know.
Okay, and
None of you have heard of any kind of ritual where the sibling was used to cause an arm to grow back like this. You don't know if that's because you've just never heard of it, but you do not have any knowledge of this in your repertoire.
POTUS sits, kind of looms over Itzhak and says, "Tell me, you haven't seen your sister since that day, correct?"
Yes. Except in
So,
dreams that I had.
but you haven't spoken with her. You haven't gotten what her side of the story was.
What difference does it make? She was the one who caused it. Why would I speak with her?
How was she the one who caused it? Because some old bitch told you she did?
Why would you listen to the old witches?
I wanted...
From what we have found out, they make pies out of children. Think that's trustworthy information?
What do I care with what they do in their spare time? If they are able to interpret things for me...
Go ahead and raise a fist.
What?
I'm waiting for someone to stop me.
Hold on. POTUS reaches out to grabs Vlad's hand and lets Durox
reaching
go.
out to Vlad to grab.
Yeah, POTUS is trying to this time allow Durox to punch dude in the face.
Oh no, I'm not gonna punch him.
Other hand, then.
I'm not gonna punch him.
I'm not punching him, just raising.
Oh no, I'm gonna smack him with the torso.
Okay, I was gonna say no violence in a holy place, but that's not technically violence. It's just disgust.
So yeah, once he says that, what do I care or whatever, I can't remember what it was that he said specifically. That I started raising my fist. I smack him with the torso.
And he raises up and tries to grab the torso from you. He reacts quite angrily at it and tries very hard to grab it out of your hand.
I want to roll. Is that strength versus agility? Or dexterity?
It would be a grapple check. Your athletics versus his athletics.
Oh boy.
Yeah, beat that!
29. What?
Yeah, watch it. She does beat it.
Not 20.
Really?
I don't know, I was just saying that 20.
We're just shooting shit.
Nope, he rolled a 10.
Yeah!
So
he gets smacked
he does,
laying back on the pew.
yeah, he gets knocked back into the pew, and he is very angry now, and just his jaw is locked, and he's just glaring at Durox.
Oh man.
What you gonna do?
Now,
No, I'm
try,
kidding.
no,
Derek
No.
doesn't say that.
now, let's try that again. Why would you believe the witches over your own sister and over your own flesh and blood? What sense does that make?
They know
Raise the
magic.
torso again, being
Why
ready.
would I believe you? You come in here and destroy our village. Why would I believe you? The
You
hags, they
destroyed your
told
own
me what the
village.
magic was.
They gave you a convenient excuse, is all they did.
He crosses his arms and turns his head away.
And Epotus tries to reach out to grab his face and turn him back.
Oh man, I so wish I was there right now. Connect the dots.
Do I need to do an athletics?
Yep,
Ah,
you beat his 10. He rolled another 10.
my heart's not. Oh,
Oh, he rolled another 10. So it's basically you doing forcing the child's head. No. Hey, you look at me now.
God damn it, open your mouth and give me that marble back.
And he just locks his jaw and glares at you. It looks like he's going to be very stubborn now.
I'm going to tell you something very simple. I'm here to crush the witches, the devil they serve,
I'm back.
and anything that gets in my way of those two objectives.
Is this dude still being a douche?
And right now, you're treading on that third one.
I have an idea.
So
He says,
and he looks at Vlad like, shut up. You're going to play nice for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes,
Isaac's hand is rising, and the odd claw is starting to glow red.
Derek drops the heads and he reaches for his great axe.
and Epotus just is not acting like that. And he doesn't look. He just says, "The second you try something, you're dead." Now, 5 minutes. Behave, and you're free to leave. If during that 5 minutes or anything after that point you try something, you're meat. And he lets him go.
Be just another head for Derek's collection.
He clenches the odd, like almost claw-like fingers. He clenches them together, but they are still glowing an odd color of red. But he is not actively doing anything with it.
what is going on during these 5 minutes? I was on the phone, sorry.
Confrontation.
5 minutes to talk with Arena.
Oh, okay.
He just sits.
Also, by the way, Victor, have you not come into the church yet?
Victor's
I don't think
patrolling
he can.
outside.
I don't think he can.
That'd be
Well, no, I know-
hilarious if just like we're sitting here doing this whole thing like this whole time.
Well, no,
Victor's just
Derek does have it in his mind. Hey, Victor, come in. But I don't know if that's gonna work because this is a church with those bones.
No, I can go into churches. I
Just have to
don't.
be.
I just don't like to if I think something holy is going to happen.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm there.
But are you inside or?
Yeah, I'm with you guys seeing this foolishness.
Okay, no, because
Earlier
I
was
remember
different
that
when
like you have to
said
be
the,
invited.
like for spare time thing. Yeah, I should ask for you guys to invite me, but I just was going with the flow.
I think you've
Yeah,
been
I think
doing...
I've been
Derek would-
invited in there before, so I think
Yeah,
we're good.
by the head priest. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right, you have been invited in before. So never mind. Yeah, no, I was gonna say if stuff was gonna go down, Derek was gonna yell, "Victor, you can come in."
Yeah. Yeah, Victor's there. He could not believe the I don't care what they do in their spare time comment. That's the only part where he's really said anything.
Hey, everybody got their own thing. I'm a
Anyway,
child
so-
of the 60s.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I'm doing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Vlad says, let's go find out for ourselves. We are going to go meet with those hags at Bone Grinder, because it is my windmill that they are squatting in. So, why don't you come with us, and we can find out the truth?
You're saying this to Isaac?
Yes.
He just sits there like a bump on the log with his arms kind of half crossed, glaring at you. You're getting no cooperation out of him at all at this point.
Like a pouty kid.
I guess you must have grown to like that arm.
It
Be ashamed of
cannot be
somebody.
fixed.
Cut it off. What?
It cannot be fixed without her death.
Durok says that it won't be fixed at all, and they're just trying to trick you, like they have tricked the parents into feeding their children to them. Did you not even consider that?
I did not bring you here for you to murder her. Now, I don't think you heard what I said, or at least not properly. Let me rephrase it so that it will get through your pea-sized brain. You will come with us to Bone Grinder. Now that you know she is here, you are a danger that we cannot ignore. We will confront these hags and find out the truth, whether or not they lied to you. If you resist, we will be forced to forcibly. We must forcibly remove you from Vallaki. We will permit. This town is now under control of the Dawnwatch. We permit no crime.
I think we've gone to straight lawful evil, guys.
It's chaotic. This is still Vlad doing good. There is now a threat to someone he cares about and a possible crime that may be committed if they just leave him here.
I didn't say it was bad. POTUS is totally down for it.
Right, so which one of you is Palpatine and which
Unlimited power. I'm Palpatine.
They
I mean,
always come in twos.
No, it's the trope. POTUS is the literal dragon.
And there's the literal cat. What?
Hello there, cat.
Cat.
Anyway, you will come with us to Bone Grinder, and you will find out the truth. Even if it is true once we get there, even if we find out it is true once we get there, you will still not do harm to Irina. Once we get there, we can remove that arm for you, if what they said is true.
Very well. I will come with you to Bone Grinder.
Vlad nods and then leans back a little bit in the pew
Wait,
and
so
says, "Go ahead."
is Bone Grinder the same place as the wine, or is that a different
No, that's a
location?
different
The
place.
windmill. Bone grinder.
Okay,
Somehow I
so,
feel
so we're
like
pick-
Vallaki's going to be waiting a long time for their wine.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, I was gonna drag him with us to the winery first, so that we get his aid, and then go to Bone Grinder. Take full advantage out of Isaac.
Yeah, we gotta refresh ourselves first before. we
Oh
get
my
to
god, I
That's like
think
a-
I know.
Beauty nap.
I think I know the soul who's going in the doll. What?
So,
What would make it better?
I like
Make it
that
better.
idea.
Hey, if he fucks up,
Take an
that's what's
arm
gonna
off of
happen.
that doll as well.
so, you are going to, let me get this straight. You're going to go rest. You're probably going to the Lady Lochner's house. You are going to the winery, and you are going to Bone Grinder, and all of it with Isaac in tow.
Yes.
Because he can't be trusted by himself. That and also
Or the rest
that
of
and
us.
it also separates the Baron from him, which gives the Baron even less power.
Mm-hmm. My thoughts exactly.
POTUS looks at Vlad as if there's something that he's been like considering, and he tries to pull Vlad off to the side.
Vlad will go with him.
He's tainted by dark forces.
He's tainted by what?
demonic forces. He
Yes,
openly admits it.
I can see it.
Oh,
Eponus's jaw clenches.
sorry.
This is why I want to go to Bone Grinder and see the truth. Like I said, if it is true that this is the only way to remove the taints,
That's not the only way.
it's... You didn't let me finish speaking. He, Vlad would say, gesture back to the arm, says, like I said, if it is true that Irina's death is the only way to remove the taints, we can remove the arm for him.
Victor has
is
turned into a
tolerated.
cat and walks.
Victor is tolerated because he's proven himself helpful and reliable. Itzhak is none of those things.
Isaac may be helpful, but certainly not reliable. However, I want to do what I can before I know that we must kill him. Besides, his
What-
aid may prove useful.
What was Arena's thought?
Irina thought that if she went near him, she would kill him herself.
So why do we keep him around?
Because we are still in a church.
I can take him outside.
Durok can take him
Ismark,
outside.
by the way, was the one that said
You're
he
on
would
now
kill
over
him.
here.
Dirok is
Oh.
just like right here. He just sort of into fray.
Durok can take him outside.
Ismark was the one.
I'm tickled out. My ears do more than just frame my face.
Ismark was
if
the one who
you hear
said he
this-
wanted to kill.
No, I'm sorry. I thought that we were all together. I guess I'm still over by Isaac then.
Ismark is the one who said he wanted to kill Isaac.
Yeah, he's the one that said he wanted to kill Isaac. Irina doesn't want
As
to be
I-
anywhere near him.
As I told him, steps out of line, he's meat. And
I am perfectly
In the head.
This
In the
is
head.
agreeable. I have no
And,
problems with this.
Then Eponus lets Vlad go back and he calls over Dirok and basically relays, essentially, you know how you've been waiting for me to say, go nuts? Dirok, if Itzhak causes any problems for us, go nuts.
Any problem you say.
I feel like he's gonna turn into that squirrel from over the hedge after he drinks the caffeine.
Any problem
Victor.
related to using that hand for anything other than the normal purposes of a hand. And
What?
just go with me on it.
Victor pipes
What
in.
else
Let's say you have to be very specific with Dirok.
Oh no,
What?
don't you dare.
Okay, in that case, he uses Victor as the C-3PO for this exchange. And he's basically just like, if he uses the demon magic in his hand, if he tries to attack one of us, if he tries to attack Irina or Ismark, and if he, like, just in general fucks us over. Thanks, 3PO.
Then Durok says, thank you, Victor and Eponus. Eponus.
Yes.
Durok's not dumb. Why didn't you just say that?
Eponus just leaves. It's just red sash.
Hi, cat.
Okay, so you've got Isaac sitting in the pew, looking very pouty. Irina is heading for the back of the church, trying to stay away from him. Ismark is trying to stay between her and Isaac. What are all of you doing with the situation?
Isaac can screw off. Vlad is going to sleep here in the church. Make sure that he doesn't try anything in the intervening day between now and when we leave.
Derek goes to grab his heads, 'cause dropped them. He goes to Father Petrovich and asks if he has any steaks.
Sure, I've got some beef steaks, I've got some tuna steaks, what else? What you need?
Steaks, like pikes.
I got it.
He doesn't realize that a church probably doesn't, but he's gonna be asking around anyone.
Father Petrovich looks rather startled at you and says, "Who told you?"
You do have steaks that Derek can put these heads on?
Oh, not that kind of steaks. No, you want very large ones. I have only the short ones for vampires.
We should probably get some of those.
Oh.
You get a telepathic communication from Vlad. We should
No,
probably
actually,
get some of those.
Derek is actually kind of thinking that.
Victor will take this opportunity to slink off towards his cart.
Poor Victor.
Do you have any to spare? Or
I
the little
have
ones?
I have a great many of the ones for vampires, yes. But if you want the large ones, ask the guards. They are always putting the wolf heads on pikes and stakes outside the gates of Vallaki. They will probably have them.
You can
Derek
probably
will-
turn those bodies into a few steaks.
I don't have bodies, I have heads.
You gotta
You don't
try
have a
them.
body.
Take the ribcage and make them steaks.
Derek will go and do what the little steaks for vampires. It seems useful, seeing as vampires were attacking. Have some that could help the party for when we are out.
He just nods and he goes to a cupboard off to the side in an alcove and unlocks it, and you find a stack in there of probably about 30 wooden stakes of the type he was describing.
Excuse me.
Just one for each of us, so
Just one, that's all it takes for Victor.
one.
So he,
Derek doesn't know how to count. One for Hippolytus and Victor and Sylvia.
he holds up a
and
he
Vlad.
holds up a hand after touching each of the fingers. He holds up his hand. At least this many.
Yes, that many. That looks like a good number.
And he Apple, it was in one of your games. Yes, it was Hayseed, wasn't it, that had to learn how to count?
Yeah,
Um,
but like he had reasons.
yes. But anyway, he hands out 6 steaks to you to distribute to the others.
Thank you, Father. Right? That is your title.
Yes, yes, my son. I'm called Father.
Oh god, no.
What?
Nothing. I'm not even there. I'm just making comments because I know you. You're about to go.
your father.
They call me Father because I
Derek is,
protect my children in the village. Not my real children, you understand.
oh, so like your father is a title, the people are your children, that is also a title.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Derek understands the son reference now. Derek was not really your son, so you say that as like Derek is son, and that's a title.
Yes,
Derek seems
the ones
depressed.
that I must protect, I call my children.
Derek understands. You are much easier to understand than Hippolytus.
You troll.
I've hated you for 8 years, man.
So what is your plan? I've heard a
Lord does not
lot of
understand what
different
you mean.
suggestions about plans.
As of right now, we are going to go to sleep. Vlad is going to stay at the church and guard over Irina. In the morning, we are going to go get Isaac, go through the Watcher house, and then leave for the winery.
Okay.
Right?
And you've decided now to skip the Blue Water Inn?
Vlad has. I know that Duroc wanted to, and Victor wanted to go talk with them about the bats or crows or ravens or whatever they were.
But I'm assuming that the crows was his because we've seen crows before, and the guy innuendoed about crows that he knew stuff because of the crows.
What?
I don't think I actually wanted to go.
What was that? Were you laying in your coffin?
That was me backing out from the conversation.
Yeah. It looked like you were strong.
No, I only have 2 fingers, not the whole.
Right here? Yeah, right here is the real vampire that needs to go into a coffin.
So
I guess we're just sleeping then? I don't think... I don't know if anyone else needs to go to the Blue Moon.
Nap time.
Unless we wanted to go,
We could go to Watcher House tonight.
Oh yeah, hey, we need to go get Sylvia, don't we?
Yeah, Epotus was going to
yeah!
Epotus was going to
No,
go
we'll just
to the
leave
house.
her out there all night.
Well, no, Epotus was planning to spend the long rest in the house.
Let's go do that. I completely forgot about Sylvia after I told her to meet us at the house.
Got so used to being mainly faced.
Might be a good idea to check out Walker House instead of leaving people a whole night to wreck the place.
Yeah, because if we show up and we're like, hey, this is our house now. Well,
I wish we
Let's,
knew things.
let's grab Alex's. Oh, I should probably get back another conversation. We should probably grab Alex's cloak to like nail it over the door for people to know, and then let's just go to Watcher House. Is it Watcher or Wachter?
Wachter.
Wachter.
Okay, Wachter. Wachter.
Waka.
Wachter House. Forwards!
Okay,
Now
so
that I know what we're doing.
the next step is Wachter House then.
Are we taking Isaac? Are we taking wounded Isaac with us, or are we letting him go?
I thought he was
I
going
wouldn't
back
fucking leave him
to
there.
the Baron's house.
Has he already left? Do we need to go chase him down on the streets?
Isaac is
Wait!
still sitting in a pew. What are you doing with him?
Okay, we're going to Wachter House.
I wouldn't leave him.
No, we're not leaving him with
Bring
Irina.
him along?
Absolutely not. Do what, Riz?
Aren't we bringing them along?
Okay, 1 second if you would. I have to bring up a sheet that I need.
I'll give him, if he goes down, I'll give him just enough healing to keep him from dying.
Madam GM, I have whispered you 2 things. I just wanted to.
Okay, hang on just a moment. I'm trying to pull up a
No
lot
rush.
of things here.
Not a rush. I just figured I'd let you know. Thank you
Hi.
doing this through all
I'm
the
going to check on the stream.
forgetfulness.
All right,
Yeah,
where
let's
did you
just go sit.
where did
No
you
one-
whisper these, in game or in Discord?
In roll, it should be roll 20. I whispered you in roll 20. Should be I posted it to the DM.
Okay. I just needed to know where to look. I had a lot of things up over it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Oh, I figured.
We actually have 6 people watching. Take that, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I know I'm one.
I'm on
Yes,
that's-
you are not in Wachter House. You are outside Wachter House.
Okay, I just wanted to know in the time all this took.
No, I guarantee you are not in Wachter House. You are outside Wachter
Okay.
House. All right, so we are
Let's just be throwing
going
random stones at the door.
to Wachter House. Actually, rather than the map, Wachter House is this right here. This is where Wachter House is, and I will
Oh, so
bring
the
up.
inn is in between it. Okay.
Yeah, I will give. I'll put you over on the outside of it, and I need to do one more thing on my maps so that I have that. All right, now I have a picture up that I can use for my information. All right, so you come, are you, the rest of you are in fact dragging Isaac along and you are heading for Wachter House?
Yes.
All right, so when you arrive at the outside of this old manor, this house looks more like it is almost ashamed to be who it is. It has a stoop-shouldered look to it that is, the roof is sagging as if the house is just plain disgusted with who it is. The roof slouches down over it, and there's heavy furrowed gables like it's frowning, and the moss-covered walls sag and bulge under the weight of the vegetation that's growing up over it. As you study the house's sullen countenance, you hear the edifice actually groan. Only then you realize the extent to which the house hates what it has become.
Sylvia, we need you to get to work.
On the way there, Vlad would have taken out his fanny pack and bandaged up people who were hurt. So here's one
I'll take it.
for. Where is it? Here's one for Durok. Here's one for POTUS, and you add your character level to it. So we're level 4. So Durok would get 9 points, and POTUS would get 13. Myself, I would get another 9 points. Puts me almost back to full. And does Sylvia need it, or is Sylvia still good?
Sylvia's still hurt, but just since you said you were doing this on the way, I'm probably already ahead of you.
Oh no, you're at the house at this point. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But like when we roll up in our feet, when we roll up with our Toyotos, I could
our
throw
10
some
toes.
manages at you.
When you roll up on our 10 toes, got it.
Yeah. Anyone who's still hurt, I still have like 8 sense beans left. So does anyone want those? Each one gives 4 HP.
I'll take one, because then that'll probably put me at full.
Alright, 7. D-Rock, you want some?
Just one, just in case.
So how much does that heal you for?
6. It heals you for 4 points.
Close enough.
I'll just adjust my stuff now.
I will refrain because I'm almost at full.
You said 4?
Are you taking one?
I figured by the time you get there, when you offer it, she'll probably take it and then give you this
Yeah,
look and
4.
you'll explain yada yada yada.
So that puts me at 5.
Hey, I'm almost back to full.
I have a lot of health to go through.
When you get up to the front door, you notice that it's very heavy oaken door with bronze bands across it, heavily reinforced, almost as if they were fortifying the house. This is not something that's been recently done. The door was made this way.
Is there a staircase leading up to the door? Or is there like a porch type thing?
A few steps up to a porch and then to the front door, yes. just like what you see
probably
there
by the time.
in the picture where there's like
Yeah.
a pillars on a porch.
Okay, I just want to
Is-
make sure. I just want to make sure I'm saying it clearly.
Is
Probably by the
Isaac
time.
still? Go ahead.
Hmm?
Go
Oh.
ahead.
I was gonna say probably by the time everyone reaches, I'm sitting at the top on the porch, just staring up at the door.
There would be some chairs out on the front porch that you could be sitting in, and Isaac is stomping along, kind of, I assume, surrounded by the group of you. He's not a willing guest in your little escapade, but he is at this point not fighting you.
Yeah, I was going to ask if Isaac's still doing his sullen little boy routine.
Very much so.
Alright, so Vlad rolls up in his Toyotas. I keep saying roll up, we're not in a car. Vlad walks up to the front of Vakter house. Vakter, I'm going to get it at some point. I'm going to get it. Vakter house, and takes one look at Sylvia and says, "You look like you could use these." And then he goes into his pouch and pulls out a bean and gives it to her. It's actually a berry.
Mm.
It's a good berry.
She's gonna take it and points at the door and says, "This place is depressing."
It does not look good. No, it needs a holy hand.
Here's the crazy question, right? This woman was supposed to, be like of money and of like some weird status bullshit, right? Like, what was the deal with this woman?
You don't know. You know that
Well,
she
no,
was.
she's gonna.
You know that she's wealthy. You know that she has some kind of connections from things that have been said. And you know that she was very unhappy with the festivals and was trying to get them stopped by taking over the town in order to prevent any further festivals from happening. That's about as far as you've got.
We will find out inside.
Wait,
Have you tried the door yet?
No, I was waiting for you guys, but no, that I kind of noticed the extra body, so I kind of was asking them just like offhand leaves, and a question that didn't need an answer right now, but figured someone might know.
Isaac is our somewhat unwilling guest. He will be accompanying us out of Vallaki, and we are going to find answers in One Grander. I will fill you in the full story later.
I kind of figured by the footsteps. I mean, you guys walk in weird ways, and he was just like the most weirdest and kind of odd.
In any case, what was the question that you needed answered?
What was the deal with these people? Like, he's been in this town for a bit. He should know something.
That is a good point. Do you have any information to share with us, Isaac? Is it Isaac?
Depends on how I feel at the moment when I pronounce it. I believe it's Isaac.
his name is Charles.
Charles!
There you go. Isaac just glares at you and goes, "She was a crazy woman who wanted to take over the town. And she had this book club that she was always advertising in some of the... Well, you saw them there, those people that were fighting. They were part of her book club."
Okay, hold on. Okay, so a book club?
Book club. They read books.
It must have been where they got their unholy magic from. It was similar to what I can do, but they were bound to the devil instead of to one of the divine beings.
Okay, look, when we go in, don't touch the books. I'll look at the books. Don't worry about the books. I'll deal with the books.
I don't think it is a good idea for you to... this is going to sound terrible, but I don't think it is a good idea for you to go in alone.
No, I mean, well, no shit, I'm not going in alone. Fuck that. Remember the last house we walked into? I mean, Jesus. I mean, seriously. Not gonna walk into another house alone. Come on.
This from the guy who always went off alone.
Yes, I know. This is why I said this is going to sound terrible.
Jacques!
But look,
Derek looked at both of his hands with one head in each and like, Derek won't touch anything.
Derek, you realize that holding those hits is going to make it very difficult to fight.
Derek could just drop them.
Or use them as weapons.
Derek, these are Derek's.
Use it as it's a flail. It's a flail that deals
Cast
bludgeoning
an iron.
damage.
A double-ended flail. I can tie the hair together.
You know, your creativity is.
you can tie them together and then use it as a bola.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
In any
Now,
case,
now you're thinking.
Vlad is going to point his mace at the front door. Does it fly open or is it locked?
It is locked.
So it gives it a little. It is locked.
There
Hold on.
was a head at
Let's
locked.
not break it because we're planning to use this door.
A
Sylvia, do you
small
have anything?
section of wood suddenly swings open, like those little doors that people can pop open and look out, and you see
Like a doggy door.
Like in Wizard of Oz.
Oh, you know what? Derek holds up her head.
the small the,
I'm standing up right at the door, and I have her head right there, so that he can
Oh,
only see the head.
the man who
Hello,
was who
this is
opened
Lady
the small
Pepper.
door, you recognized from the gathering in the square. He was the rather snooty-looking servant that was accompanying her, and he immediately slams the small door shut, and that's all you see.
I put my fist through the small door.
No,
I tried
don't
to
break
grab him by the neck.
It's shut. He already shut it.
I am using my strength check to break through the door.
Give me
No,
that
No,
strength
don't break
check.
the door!
Yeah, you know what? Derek doesn't remember this conversation.
Derek, please, don't break the door, please.
21.
You actually
You bastard.
failed.
What? No! 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 That was supposed to be my moment. Bust through the door.
Well, it
grab him
wasn't.
by the
It
neck,
wasn't.
Open this door now.
Your fist bounces off the reinforcements that's over this door. It is heavily reinforced with these bronze bands.
So there's somebody looking through a little opening at
Not
us.
anymore.
They
Close it,
were
yeah,
until
no.
Dirok held up the head, and then they slammed the little door shut, and now they're not communicating.
I thought it was a good idea. I thought he would see.
It wasn't
Oh, hey,
a terrible idea.
hey,
Derek
no,
might have that.
Derek. Okay, my bad. Derek thought it was a good idea. Saw a head, like, oh, hey, my master's back.
That's-
Let me open the door.
That's probably just exactly what Dirok would have done, and we go on from there.
That's exact. That's why I did. Like, obviously, it's a dead head.
I'm not judging you. I'm just.
Yes, you are. You are judging me with your judgy eyes. You judgy Judy.
Did he at least arrange the face to make it look normal so it's not like
No, it was all in the instant that I'm like, oh, yep, nope, hold on.
Okay.
Derek
Yes.
thought it was gonna be clever. Can I?
Vlad turns to Sylvia and says, "Can you do anything to unlock these?"
Victor
I'd like
pulls
to
out
try-
the key.
Do you seriously have the key?
Yeah, you looted
There
her.
we go.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Damn you!
You could have done that for you now.
Are you looking for this?
Yes.
You seem to be having fun. I did not want to interrupt.
I
fuck.
slowly just take the thieves' tools and put them back in my hair, like hairpins.
I totally didn't take these out. I was just readjusting them.
Is it like you have it holding up your hair, like the maid?
Kind of,
yeah.
Derek thought it'd be cool if he could break through the door.
You failed. Let's continue.
Victor will go ahead and unlock the door, open it, and then step aside so someone
Yes,
can invite
he
him
can't
in.
come in yet.
Derek charges through since he's still at the door, so that
Oh
they
god,
can't
this is
slam
going
shut.
to go terribly.
Well, no. He's just charging through to make sure that the door doesn't try to slam shut.
Vlad casts light on Dirok.
So I go through. Victor, you can come in.
No, you come. No. It's more like you go in. Victor, you can come.
Yes.
Ooh, what?
It's like you charge in, turn around. As you're turning around, the light spell goes up, and it's just like this movie-esque coming from the back of your head, where you just look like a god to everyone behind you.
Victor will probably hesitate, like.
I got your back.
I'm gonna pat Victor on the shoulder, kind of squeeze my way in, and go. At this point, I think we're starting to become our own worst enemies. Remember,
when Dirok gets inside the house, he finds himself actually in a very small vestibule in the front of the house. It's about 15 feet from side to side and only about 5 feet deep, so he's kind of a little bit squished in the whole area. But
I'm also looking for blades and whatnot in the archways, kind of just jumping out of nowhere like that house.
Nothing attacks you. There's no damage or anything. You notice that, like, back the same direction as the front door, there looked like two closet doors on the areas behind you. There are some closets that could be open. You come in through the front door. Straight ahead of you is a door into the house, and behind and to either side of you are these what look like closet doors.
Are there any lights, or am I relying on my dark vision?
I literally just cast light on you.
Well, but I mean, like further down ahead.
It is a lit house. There
Okay.
are it's an occupied house with oil lamps hanging on the wall.
And do I see the person, or a person, I guess, running away, or
Not yet.
hear any kind of like footsteps?
There's a house door that has been closed directly ahead of you. It is not barricaded or reinforced like the outside door was, but apparently they closed it behind them as they moved away from the outside door.
Assuming I probably saw it close just as I got in.
Yeah, it would be. If it was fast enough, you might not have, because you had the conversation with Victor about the key. It might have already been closed by the time you got in, but it wouldn't take much figuring to realize that they either went through the door straight in front of you or through the two doors slightly behind you.
I'm gonna pat Duroc on the arm and be like, "Hey, look. If the servant comes with the house, we don't want him totally freaked out. Maybe you might want to stick the heads and corpses and gory mess in the closet."
Check the closet, maybe he's in there.
No, I mean put the heads in the closet. Just put them in the closet like a pair of shoes. Put them in there.
They are Durok's trophies.
Like any good item that you bring into the house, you're gonna want to put them in a safe place. Put them in the closet. We'll come back to them later.
They are safer with Durok.
Duroc.
Sylvia.
No. Vlad is going to wait until Isaac enters to go in. Like he's forming a rear guard to make sure it doesn't run off.
It's going to start getting very difficult for all of you to fit in this area. It is only a 15-foot by 5-foot area. So if all 6 of you are going to crowd in here, plus Durok's heads, you're going to find it getting a little bit squishy.
They're on separate entity now.
Yes.
My God, they're floating.
They're my clubs. They are massive clubs. All right, fine. Durok, seeing that it's a small area, he's gonna start walking towards the door that he thinks the servant walk through.
Can I do a persuasion to try and get him to put those things away?
Yes, and he can do a wisdom save against you.
Durok is very adamant. I don't know if that's gonna work. Can it work?
Glenn,
why
just
can
wait.
I?
Just wait till he goes to sleep.
I'm actually going to give Durok advantage on a wisdom versus wisdom save. See which one of you have the most determination. Yeah.
But yeah, you would be.
Would it be wisdom though? Because my persuasion is charisma.
Yes, you're right. Yes, charisma.
So would it be
charisma versus charisma? It's basically who persuades who here.
Charisma versus wisdom.
Yeah, that would be a 5. I gave you advantage, but I still recognize that Durok is adamant. He's not like commanded by you. Give your charisma roll there, Lynn.
The saving throw or the actual like roll for the save?
I have the save. You don't. You have persuasion, I guess.
You'd use the skill.
Yeah, and I'm gonna lose because my advantage is 5.
Okay, so where I have the off to the side the little boxes. I'm trying to make sure I'm
Is
clicking the
this
right one.
necessary?
Yes, it's a charisma save. Just the little box. Yes.
Okay, I hope I'm clicking the right one.
All right. She is more persuasive. It does sound like very persuasive talk that she's
Yep,
giving
I
to
have a
you.
plan. I have a
Okay.
plan for this then. Derok decides to turn around, huffs, fine, hands the heads to her, you hold on to them and keep them safe. Derok is going to the door. He
I would like to
goes
s-
ahead and
I-
turns to the door.
I would like to slide a hand, put them in the closet.
But yeah, that's fine. Like, you can go ahead and put them in the closet. That's gonna end up very bad for you, though.
You said keep them safe. I'm keeping them safe.
You need to keep them safe. You putting them in the closet is not keeping them safe.
Still keeping them
Not-
safe.
So
But
we've
yeah,
now got
Derok's going
Isaac
to the head.
arguing,
Or
Derok arguing.
yeah, no. So now Derok is making a beeline for the door that he thinks the servant went through.
Okay, directly ahead of you when you open it, you see two doors to either side of you going into rooms of some kind, and a stairway going up.
In the did I already open the servant door?
I'm assuming that you said you were going to make a beeline for that and open the door. So I'm saying
Okay,
that you
yeah,
opened the
I
door.
wasn't sure you were describing. Okay, so I see what's inside. I see a stairwell, and what was
Straight
before
ahead
that?
of you, you see stairs going up. To either
Oh,
side of
it's
you,
just stairs.
yes. And immediately to either side of you, you see a door going left and a door going right.
There. Wanna. I guess it might be Asian.
Say that again.
I think I want to do. Well, actually, no. Let's do it's perception to see like if I want to do look at like see if there's footsteps or footprints.
Okay.
Perception.
You for sound or for indentations
I guess
or what?
yeah. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to listen
The house
and
is
look
not
to see if anything.
okay. The house is not dusty.
Oh, okay. So that's gonna leave the site out. So then I guess I'm doing perception then to try to listen for footsteps.
All right. Give me a perception roll.
Yep.
I think we just got confused by the description of the outside of the house versus the inside.
Yeah, the inside
Well,
of the
I'm
house.
also kind of thinking it's also dusty, kind of like the other houses.
No,
we've been
this
in.
one is lived in. A noblewoman has lived here, and it shows it.
But yeah, so I'm assuming my 5 does nothing.
No, you.
I'm all flustered because Sylvia had to make a big deal about my head.
You know,
And I'm just not being able to pay attention. All right, so there's a stairway going up, and you said there's a doorway to both my left and my right.
Yes. There's only a 5-foot space inside this door. 5 feet ahead of you, the stairs start, and immediately on either side of you, there's a door.
You check that door. I'll check this door. I point her to the left, and I'm making the motion.
All right, the doors, Dirok's door opens quite easily, and you can see a kitchen area, and a rather startled young woman holding a wooden spoon looks up and goes, "Ah!"
Wait. We are looking for a. Wait, you're also a servant here, aren't you?
I'm the cook! Don't hurt me!
Good.
Can you? Can you?
oh god, no.
This gave me an idea.
You're welcome.
You're a cook. Have anything to eat?
Yes, take it. The pot's full of stew. You can have the whole kettle if you want.
Oh, thank you very much.
She
By
kind
the
of
way,
backs into
I
a
have
corner.
friends outside. They are looking for, well, I guess not the lady of the house anymore. Whoever else is in charge of the house.
That would be Carl and Nikolai.
Is that her sons?
She
Yeah,
nods.
which one is an
She
archer?
just She nods. She bobs her head like one of the bobble-headed dolls.
Who else is in charge after them? I think they are with the guards right now.
Ow, stop.
No, they're not with the guards. She kind of looks at you and and she points up at the ceiling.
They're upstairs.
I think they may be checking on Stella.
Stella? Who's Stella?
Well,
Wait,
no,
hold on.
we don't-
Sylvia, get over here.
we don't talk about Stella much.
Is Sylvia now closer to me? Because she's probably better at conversing than Derek.
Yeah, no, I'm walking in.
Victor will head
I'm
over
trying to
this
wrestle with
direction
my
as
cat at the
well.
moment. She's yelling at me.
Why do you not talk about Stella?
Well, Stella's not entirely all here, sir.
But what? How can they look up on Stella if Stella is not here?
She sounds a little bit like the Baron's son.
You know,
Oh,
That's
hello,
best.
Victor. Hello, Victor.
Oh
Maybe
dear.
you can help. She also has food.
Ah,
She said she can have food.
yes, very good. We are sorry for the scare. We met with the lady earlier at the festival, and
In a matter of speaking.
we will be watching after the house for some time. He goes ahead and holds up the key.
She's otherwise indisposed.
Nikolai
the
did
noise.
not say anything about this.
Yes, so it is very important that we go speak to him. Could you point me in the right direction, please?
She just points again at the ceiling. Like boop boop
Okay.
boop boop.
There's a staircase in the. Does the staircase behind Duroc lead up to them?
Yes, that goes upstairs.
Hey, crazy question. Since I know Sylvia was called and Victor showed up. I guess overhearing this, she probably would turn around. Depending on who's closer, if Vlad or Apotus is closer, probably would.
We're both offside.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
both outside. All right, then
they're
she's just going. She's going up the stairs already.
Victor will
Okay.
head towards the stairs as well, and he's going to go ahead and turn into a superb owl.
I'm
not
trying
sure
to
why,
figure
but
out.
people
By the
seem
way,
real hyped about it.
by the way, Vlad, how is Alex here since he remained at the Baron's house?
Stop it.
Is he stationed at the Baron's house right now?
Sorry
I thought
about that.
That didn't take effect until tomorrow.
That was the last I heard. That he was staying with the Baron.
Oh, okay. He's there then.
Sorry for the noises.
Misunderstood that. Then just kind of ignore that then.
Is Victor is still going up then?
Yeah.
Being attacked by wolves.
Duroc goes to the hallway instead of the stairs, turns back, just save the food for later, then goes back out to the hallway.
So you're leaving the
Might
kettle of
need
food
your
there.
help.
You're not taking the kettle of food then.
I can't. Duroc thinks there's a fight that's probably going to happen since he thought
Well, see, take the kettle of food. You can put it on top of the Vactor boys. It's like, you hungry? Splash!
Didn't we already kill one of them though?
Nope.
Or
No,
are
we
there-
killed
No.
the mother.
We killed the mother, the
No, like me
lady,
and
the
Aponis like
sycophants,
one-shotted one of them.
and
was like,
That was
a random raccoon hat wearing guy.
that was she had 4 guards with her. None of them were her son.
There was also another guy who shot
Time out,
Victor
time
in the
out,
stomach while he was in
time
horse
out.
Oh, right,
Time
that
out.
guy.
Time out. There
Yep.
were 4 followers, sycophants, and there was a guy in a fuzzy hat that was sneaking around in the crowds watching you guys, and he was the one who took the pot shot at everybody, and he wound up one shot.
Yeah, that's right. The stallion horse of destiny.
Yes, the pale horse. But I don't believe he was one of the sons.
Oh, I thought he
Yeah,
was.
I think it was just like some kind of mercenary.
If he was, we have one less to worry about.
Sorry.
Something to be aware of, though, I am very low on spells. I have one second level spell and two first level spells left.
I
For those of
imagine
you
all
not
of you are
watching the
pretty
Super
low.
Bowl, the
after
Eagles
that.
won.
Okay, so
Good
who
to
is
know.
going up the stairs?
Spoiler alert, God.
Sylvia. Yeah, sorry.
At this point, Sylvia and Victor have gone upstairs. I believe Durek was about to go up the stairs.
Derek was going like halfway through the hallway to yell for the other three, Vlad, POTUS, and Ezek to come inside.
Yes.
We
I
might
was
need their
going
help,
to.
and then he's going up the
I
stairs.
was.
He's gonna
Yes.
draw his shield and axe as well.
Going to say, seeing how the hall is now empty, Vlad would motion to Izak to enter before him and Apotus, so that they can keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't try anything.
All right. Let me just go through the checklist so that I know where everybody is. Where is Isaac going to be?
All right, so Sylvia, Victor, Durok are upstairs. Izak is entering the hallway in front of Vlad and Apotus.
So all I need is upstairs or downstairs. Isaac is downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Where is
I would assume that. I
We
thought
are
Isaac
on our
was.
way upstairs.
Yeah, I thought Isaac was with Apotus and Vlad, and that they were
Yeah.
not letting him out of his.
Yeah, we'll put him upstairs because upstairs is harder to escape from. He'd have to jump out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is anyone
didn't go in the hall because it was too cramped.
remaining downstairs? Okay, everybody's going upstairs. That's what I needed to know, is whether
Yes.
you are upstairs or not. When you get to the top of the stairs, as your head comes up above the floor in the area, you see a rather long landing going front and back in the direction that you're moving. At the end of each end of this hallway-like setup, there is a stained glass window looking out to the outside. There is right at the head of the stairs as you come up, there is immediately to your right a simple door. There is a double door to your left, and there are more doors back around behind you. You would have to walk up onto the landing, make a 180-degree turn, and walk behind in the other direction in order to get to all these other doors. There's a total of 4 doors that are behind. And there's the double door and the simple door right at the head of the stairs.
Can we see any that are like creaked open or have recently been opened or some sort?
No, they are all closed, although they don't look like they're particularly locked or anything. They look like they're just normal house doors. You do notice that there are, if you look around, give me a perception roll. Anybody that wants to actually look around at the doors to see what they see.
Yep, Derek
Damn it.
is flustered about his head.
I see
I'm at
that.
a house.
And the door that is sort of alongside the stairs, more or less, the one that's mid-wall, actually is the only one that has a lock on it, and the lock is an external lock.
Okay, so. Alright, well, Vlad is like halfway upstairs at this point. Everyone else is at the top of the landing.
So there's a lock on the door?
Yes, the
On
door
one
that
of the
is
doors.
mid-wall on your left has a lock on it. All the other
Victor will
doors
try
just
his key.
don't look like they are it. The key actually works. When you open the door, the room is quite dark inside. There's only a very small amount of light coming in, and you see something or somebody, some dark form, scurrying away from you on all fours.
What does Derek see? Dark vision.
There is.
I think most of us have dark vision except for Vlad.
I don't.
All right,
Dragonborn don't have dark vision?
who's looking in
Wow.
the door first?
Derek. Go
You
figure.
see
Victor's the one who opened it.
you see a
Oh.
very thin young woman in a dirty nightgown. She leaps onto the bed and hisses at you like a cat.
Mascot.
Little kitty
Derek.
doesn't know you, she shouts.
Close the door!
This is exciting.
Derek puts down his axe.
Little
Grabs
kitty
one
doesn't
of
like
the
the smell of
steaks.
you.
Grabs one of the steaks that he was just given by Father Petrovich.
Close the door!
Derek slowly starts inching inward.
Victor will say, no, calm down.
Derek, we don't have time.
Where is your brother? We need to speak to him, and we are lost.
Little kitty doesn't have a brother. Little kitty's all alone. Little kitty, sad.
This is great!
Victor.
It's too late. She's been on Tumblr.
Oh, God.
Way to go! Now you're gonna send all of Tumblr on us.
Hey, at least we know the
We
one
didn't
watching
mean
what?
a Tumblr, honest.
Victor,
What?
she needs to be put out of her misery. Derek did not say anything.
Duroc, how do we know if she's dead? She might not be dead.
Victor will say, we will be right back, and he will back out, close the door, and lock it.
Yeah, he goes over to Sylvia. Well, it doesn't matter if Derek sticks this in her, whether she's a vampire or not, she will still die.
There's also still a clear line between murder and murder. So,
She is obviously in pain.
Or she could be the mascot.
she's a little crazy. And that's coming from someone who is crazy. So,
So you would agree with Derek, she needs to be put out of her misery.
She is not important. We need to find the brother
yet.
and the steward.
not yet.
A cat girl would make us more marketable.
The
I don't think
The
this
girl-
is a cat girl.
the girls, as Sylvia is peering in the door, the girl
Oh
slowly.
no, Victor closed it.
Yeah, I closed
did he?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I locked it.
Have something heavy to bar the door.
I don't
I
think,
think that's what the
bringing up.
lock is for.
Yeah, I don't think
Let
she's going
us
that far.
let us look for the brother
Okay.
or whatever relation.
Alright,
Wait,
and then
so
Derek
what was...
puts his steak away and grabs his axe again.
Look, here's the thing. Like, we're not trying to actually fight them per se, but that was just a little bit weird even for them.
Well,
for us.
you're not.
We don't need to kill them.
I
We
mean,
just need to make sure that they know this is our house now.
Well,
He-
what we want and what actually happens is never the same thing.
we can
This is
always
true.
try. I mean, it never hurts to try.
Look at the resigned. This is true.
So
Derek's just telling truths.
Vlad goes and tries the double doors. The big old double doors.
They
That
open
was
up.
the only other door, right?
Are these
No,
ones locked?
there's a lot of doors. No, the doors are not locked. They open quite easily, and you can see it is it is a
So much
library.
for the element of surprise.
It is a library.
Surprise, motherfucker.
There is
It's a
a
library.
fire.
Let her talk, guys. God.
There is a fire burning in the far end of the room, pleasantly in a fireplace, and there is a very nice librarian here.
Is there anyone in here?
No, it's
You
empty.
say there's a nice library in here, or there's a nice librarian?
Library has
I mean, whether,
nice shelves, nice books, nice desk, nice.
whether she's nice or not is subjective.
Okay, I call
guys
it official. Nobody but me goes in this room.
I take it back, by the way, as you open up and look a little bit further, there is one thing in the room. 8 cats.
Saying or one person? 8? What?
Cats. They are sitting on bookshelves and up on the chandelier, and they are just meandering all over, and they don't look like Victor Vlakovich's.
And they have their skin on, right? Like
Yes,
they're not
they
skeletons.
look like normal cats.
Wanted to differentiate that too.
Oh.
Victor will have an idea, and he's going to just go ahead and start setting up a ritual cast of speak with animals.
Yep, that's what
Say,
Darok's doing too.
You can continue looking around. I will stop this and rush to you if needed.
Don't you know you never split the party?
And at that point where
Technically,
you have
3 of us are
opened
going into the room.
At that point where you have opened the library doors and you are starting to prepare your rituals, we will stop the story here for this week. I'm going to stop the recording, but we will keep streaming if you would like to discuss any plans for what you are going to do for next week or how you're going to pursue your investigations of the house. So I'm now stopping the recording for the YouTube purposes and for storage here on Twitch, but